Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Fleischer Forum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one, welcome all. We're getting things spun up here. Court's going to get started in just a few minutes. Hope you nerds are ready to roll out. Sounds like the keyboards are crying and the guitar's whining, one way or the other. Somebody in Harris County, Texas probably has the blues tonight. It's probably thanks to our friend right down there, Judge Fleischer. Docket was not very long today, so I'm going to let you know on the front end. It's going to be kind of a short one tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but just in case you need more court towards the end of the evening, this stream will be redirecting over into a very interesting Judge Boyd case, and I do encourage you to stick around and check it out. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to worry about Bear. There's nothing we can do about anything over there. Tonight's all about Harris County, Judge Fleischer. Ladies and gentlemen, it was an interesting day. What little bit I've seen of it, I can tell you, extremely interesting. Get your popcorn out, get your drinks ready. There's plenty of hoodies on the way. There's no stopping the hoodies, ladies and gentlemen. No more hoodie drinking game. That's got to be over. But right now, court's gonna start. So nerds, let's roll out. Get this show on the road.
All right. You ready?
Ready?
Yeah, let's roll.
Our
Let's roll, nerds.
first one will be Mr. Flores on page 7. Mr. Flores?
Good morning, sir.
You're Trevor Flores.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Officers initiated a traffic stop after observing the defendant cross several lanes while failing to signal and almost causing a collision. Upon contact, the officers observed an odor of marijuana. The officers asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle and asked whether the defendant had the marijuana inside. The defendant admitted he did have marijuana inside as well as a firearm. During the search of the vehicle, the officers found a handgun in plain view on the driver's side floorboard, not in holster. And the officers also located 13 grams of marijuana under the passenger seat.
Got it. All right, Mr. Flores, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you not?
I have a SR22 in place. My license was suspended.
Okay, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. It's possible you face another 6 months in jail. I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today, promising you that you're not going to drive. Do you have liability insurance in your name? Car insurance.
Yes, sir.
I don't want you driving until you have a Texas driver license. You need to call DPS, figure out what to do to get your license. I'm going to give you the phone number now, but it's time for you to get your license back. And when you show me that you have your license and that you have car insurance, I will happily allow you to drive. But until that point, do not drive.
Am I not allowed with the SR22?
No, I don't know what's going on with your license. I don't know if you've ever had a license. What's going on, Alex? Can you run it, please?
On the license?
Please.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I can't give you legal advice, okay? But as it stands, until you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, don't drive. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of any weapons as well. Do you understand? This is a condition of your bond. If I find that you have a weapon, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
26.
You do for a living?
High school football coach.
And I see it is not eligible and it says it's a mandatory suspension due to driving with license invalid as well as an SR suspension.
Okay, so you even have an SR suspension. You can't drive at all. So this is now a bond condition. If I find that you drive, I'm telling you, HE double hockey sticks to pay. You understand?
So I'm not allowed to retrieve my weapon back.
I'm ordering you now while this case is open, not to have any weapons.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Here, Stephen, do you mind giving this to me, please? This is the number to the driver's license division to DPS. You need to call them in the morning to figure out what you need to do to get your license back. Don't call them at 9. Don't call them at 8. Don't call them at 1:02. You're never going to get through. You need to call right when the phone line's open, which is at 7 o'clock in the morning. You'll get through, give them your license number and ask them what you need to do to get your license back.
Okay.
Once you do, I'll tell you, I'll take this off, you know?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need you to fill out an application for me. I'll take a look at it. And then assuming you qualify, I'll give you a lawyer today. I'm gonna have you sign this agreement with me today that you're not going to drive. And I want you to understand, Mr. Flores, I take this so serious. Don't drive. If you drove here, you can't drive home.
No, I didn't drive here. My father did.
All right, so I'll have you come up here, swear to us. May I have you go to Jemay, sign a reset, and then we'll have you fill out the application, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, come on this way for me. You're gonna actually sign right there. Mr. Guardado on page 11, Esparza.
Guardado Esparza. Mr. D.
Yes.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. It's my understanding, I've spoken with the probation officer that Mr. Guardado was supposed to have enrolled in a T, to take a T-rise. I don't know if you,
Okay, so
know where you wanted to go with this.
I'm gonna send him right now. Yeah, we're gonna send you now for a T-Rise. I'm ordering you, Mr. Guardado, don't drive. If you don't have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, can you run his license, please? I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm gonna put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming. If I find that you're consuming your bond, it's gonna go. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do not consume alcohol from any source. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna have a monitor on your ankle so I know what you're doing at all times. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna send you for a T-Rise now to see how we go forward with the case, and then depending on what that says, that's what we'll do. If,
Very much, Your
all
Honor.
right, take a seat for me, don't leave.
Judge, he says he has a portable device. He wants to know, what do you want to do?
Felicia, he has a portable device and it's operational? Where is it? It's over there? Okay. As long as it's operational, I'm cool.
I believe he was under probation, no?
Yeah, but now he's on bond for this case, so I'll pay for it now.
You shouldn't have a portable from us.
Right.
But I can.
Can you, does he have it? He's got to have it with you, I guess. Is it operational? Okay. Is it operational now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, just hang tight. We'll send you for a T-Rise here momentarily. Don't leave. You have to come back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you ready for the next one?
And
I'll bring Miss Gidry on page 11 also. Miss Gidry?
Judge, would you? I'm sorry. I'm a little
It's okay.
confused. Did you have conditions on him on this?
he's
case?
on bond for this case, so no driving, no drinking, random urinalysis, and just link up with the device
Okay.
so that we know if he has any violations, please.
Thank you.
You are Rebecca Ann Gidry. Good morning, Miss Gidry. Ma'am, you're charged with theft by check. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The defendant issued a check to HEB on April 16, 2023 in the amount of $400.54 as payment for numerous items. The bank returned the check marked insufficient funds, and complainant provided a copy of the demand letter sent to the defendant, which was not responded to. The demand letter was sent by a first-class mail with the affidavit of service attached.
Okay. She has a prior one as well. Is this one from HEB as well?
Let me see, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Tell me, what do you do for a living?
I work as a substitute front desk clerk at a hospital in the doctor's office.
Okay. Can you afford a lawyer, ma'am? All right, I'll have you fill out an application. I'm sorry. Don't worry, ma'am. Just
Checking account.
stop. Don't, please don't. I mean, I've got a bunch of DAs here and I don't want you to say something, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you an application. We'll have you fill it out. I just don't go back to the HEB, please, okay? That's all I'm gonna ask you now. I am making it a condition of your bond, okay? Not while the case is open, ma'am, okay? I'll provide you with a lawyer today so that you'll be able to speak about how to go forward, then, okay? All right, please, Steve.
Come on. All right. Guzman. Page 12, Your Honor.
Are you Omar de Jesus Guzman Lopez? Sir, you're charged with falsifying drug test results. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay, all right.
On August 2nd, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop in accordance to an illegal tinted front windshield and 18% window tint on the front windows measured by a tint meter. The driver was identified as the defendant, and when the defendant was advised the reason for the stop, he said, "I don't care, you give me a ticket for it." And the defendant admitted to smoking the marijuana the day before and gave verbal consent to the officer to search the vehicle. A clear plastic bottle containing a golden liquid was found in the driver's side door. The officer identified the liquid as synthetic urine. Another container of golden liquid was found in the center console. The defendant denied knowing what they were several times. The defendant stated that the synthetic urine was used for drug testing.
Are you showing him on probation or parole for anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lopez, I see that you do have a lawyer at this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have you take a seat. Your case is getting up there, so I'm just going to have him take a seat until Ms. Turner comes, and then we'll figure out how to go forward. Okay?
Sure.
Do not leave. All right? Okay, please.
You want to go ahead, please? All
Is
right.
there an offer on this case, Alex?
Your Honor. No, Your Honor. Oh, actually, there's a
Sonier?
PTI offer.
There is? Okay,
Yes.
great.
This is Mr. Sonier, page 24, Your Honor. This is our last English speaker and then one Spanish speaker.
Mr. Sonier, is that right? Sonier?
Sonier.
Sonier? So you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see that. Thank you.
On November 25th, 2024, officer conducted a traffic stop for a defective driver's side tail lamp in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed signs of nervousness, such as not making eye contact and soft speaking. The defendant stated there was nothing illegal inside the motor vehicle, such as marijuana, and denied consent to search the vehicle. While waiting for a canine unit, the defendant stated he had THCA in the motor vehicle, and that was why he was nervous to allow the search. The canine arrived, the officer had the defendant exit the motor vehicle, and the canine conducted an air sniff around the motor vehicle. The canine alerted the motor vehicle, and a search was conducted. The officer located a glass jar in the center console with a green leafy substance known to be marijuana based on training experience. The officer also located several empty dime-sized clear bags with an 8-ball logo in the center console, as well as one dime-sized bag with a leafy substance in the driver's side door. The defendant stated he did not eat any substance, and the officer observed a green film on the defendant's tongue. The defendant stated the marijuana is THCA, which was not illegal, and that he bought the marijuana in clear bags, but the officer only observed one small piece of marijuana inside the bags. The weight of the marijuana found was 0.089 grams.
What was the stop for again?
For a defective driver's side tail lamp.
Okay. Mr. Saulnier, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir?
23.
23. What do you do in life now?
I wash dishes and bus tables at a restaurant.
Okay. I don't want you using. I'm ordering you now not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm telling you now, it's not going to go well. You also are on probation for a very serious case, man. You know, you got to have a halo over your head when you're on felony probation. You know, really. You want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Some time to try to hire one.
Okay. I would get on it like tomorrow because you have another case that it's very possible they now file a felony warrant on you. So you got to be on the lookout. So I'll get on it quick. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Jamae. After that, well, I'll have you meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions. And then, oh, do you have a Texas driver license?
Sure.
Can you run his license, please? Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Sure.
Okay, as long as you have both, you can continue to drive. Otherwise, don't drive.
Eligible, Your Honor.
Eligible?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Good luck. Will, hi.
Plea on Rochelle.
Okay. Do you want to bring her up?
Yes.
Um, You know, your lawyer was extremely upset with you yesterday. And I'm going to tell you that when someone's has your life in their hands, it's probably not a good idea to have them upset, because your proverbial life is in their hands, right? And you are facing up to 6 months in jail. So it could go very wrong very fast, I'm glad. So you guys are, okay, I'm glad. Yeah, that makes me happy, but you can't do this. This is not a good way to go. And this is not, so we're set for trial today in this case. Just didn't want to go through.
We discussed alternative resolutions, Judge. I don't think my client's financial situation, life predicament is gonna change in a month. Yes, consequences of interviewing this police today, and my client, I believe.
No
that-
PTI? Is she not calling? She's not eligible or?
Can't afford it.
We can waive everything. I mean, as much as I can.
PTI, they still, even if you waive the DA fee, I mean, there's $100 a month, at least interlock fees they can't do anything about, all the probationary or all the meeting fees that can't be waived.
Ms. Rochelle, you need to understand that you're going to pay for this one way or the other. The problem is that when you end up with a conviction, it's over and it will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. The state is going to get the money somehow, whether it's through fees and fines and court costs. Your insurance is going to skyrocket now. Insurance now is freaking nuts as it is now. With a DWI conviction, what do you think is going to happen? It's the same thing. You have the opportunity now where they have this diversion program where if you are granted entry and you complete it, the case gets dismissed. And you don't have all those other consequences. But the problem is that you'll have to foot a little bit money now, but it's going to save you a ton in the long run. Never take a half-ass approach to something because you're going to get a half-ass result. Your case is old is just about as old as Jesus, but I'm willing to give you time if you want to explore the PTI route, but you got to get on it lickety split like yesterday. If you want to, it's up to you, Will.
Yeah, we've discussed it in the past. Is this something you want to reconsider? Do you want to get?
I know I don't have a car now, so.
You would have
Doesn't
to
matter.
You'd have to get a portable device.
Get a portable device. You'd have to take the portable device. You have to promise that you're not going to drive. You sign an affidavit. All you would have to do is literally 2 classes, a little bit of community service, and just stay out of trouble. Don't drink, don't use, and it gets dismissed. The problem is it's a little bit of money, but you can have the fee waived. Is there anything else we can waive? What else can we do, Shatoria?
We can, go ahead,
No, I don't think there's anything else we can waive unless our programs are in the house.
I can waive the TRAS fee, right? So I can waive the TRAS fee, which is about $300. You can file a $300 waiver for the DA fee. You'll have to pay for the interlock, which is
it's about $100 a month.
Right.
But
and then the classes, but that's it.
Well,
I do believe that would still be, because I asked about the fees earlier. I still think even with all of those things waived, it would still be over $1,000.
Well, over the course of the year, though, like it's not upfront.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
that
And-
might be true. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's upfront.
the program was for a year, but if you get everything done in the first 6 months, classes, community service, no problems with the portable device, they usually can dismiss after 6 months. If
Have
you're,
they? I thought did
they stopped and they reinstated it.
Oh, they have.
Yes.
Oh, they see that if you kick ass, they'll take you off in 6 months. Really?
Yeah.
Judge, I just need to see if that was ever an offer,
Oh, well,
because I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was. Her BAC was low and there was no wreck. She was driving on a rim.
And I was like trying to get away from where I was at. I was
Just,
not in a safe
there's no need to talk. I mean, the only thing, do you qualify is really the only question.
Oh,
You know?
there's no, there's a out of state conviction she had. She was in a bad relationship and took a conviction on actually a felony case in Arkansas. So they were requiring a
It would-
mitigation packet.
It would need to be approved by Nathan Beadle, judge, because there is a prior criminal history.
Yay or nay? You tell me.
We can,
I'm willing to give you 2 weeks to get the mitigation packet done, but that's it.
I think we should try.
I don't want you to make a decision now. Go talk
Okay.
and let me know. And then if you still want to do this, I'm happy to do it, but have at it.
Oh, you're reduced. Okay, well, that should be.
We're entitled to PTI.
Huh?
We're entitled to PTI.
Great. So,
Thank you.
2 weeks, just if she's got it done, we'll send it for a TRAS on that day. But if she doesn't have it done, I'm literally gonna day for day until she has it done. And then we'll waive as much as we can, you know? Money should not be a bar,
And that's the whole thing.
but we can always work it one way or the other.
The other, her concerns at this point are, if she's not working, doesn't have a car, and single mom, you know, she's upside down and stuff. So she says, you know, if I
Burns.
start making payments on the device.
So look, Burns works with people. You know Burns bail bonds? I know that they've been helping out where they will hit rock bottom and they'll work with it. So hopefully they can help out and they may even have like an indigency plan where others can pay. I don't know, don't quote me on that. I'm not, but it's worth looking into.
I'll look at that.
So- No, they won't do it.
Be here,
But you can be done in 6 months.
yeah, but I'm just saying if it ends up where we can't spend fees, we have to just- it's kind of- oh, this is kind of the worst case scenario. It's gotta work right back.
Yeah. Yeah,
If we come back here in 2 months and say.
it is what it is. Hey, how are you? I see that he's trying to zoom in. I see it.
No, he can't move. He can't be moved from his house. I mean, he's in terrible condition.
I don't know what to tell you, but it's unacceptable. We've tried over and over to get him over here. He's got bond violations. He knows it. He's trying to thwart the system. It's unacceptable and it's not fair.
She was concerned, the company that operates the machine said, they didn't know that the machine was defective. That,
Defective in that someone else is blowing into it.
well, from the explanation that he gave me is that nobody moved, just the camera was stuck, and that anybody passing by the machine, it'll pick up, and then that whoever the camera picks up the screen. So there was nobody else that was blowing into that machine except him.
Can we download the pictures, please? Felicia.
It should be in your email, but if not, I can report it to you as well.
Regardless, he's supposed to be here. We've given him enough time. It's been a week.
He contacted the vendor and tried to say that the device was faulty, but the representative stated he's talking to you, having someone else work for him, and it's valid validation. So that's the email that I'm assuming he's talking about. They reached out to him, but the defendant is the one that stated that it was defective, not the company or any of our officers.
Where do you have that someone else is blowing into it? Felicia.
Like the report of it? Let me find it.
And the new machine that he has, ever since he got the new machine, he hasn't had any issues on the new machine. It's just that.
I don't know what to tell you, but Mr. Kelly's not here. You know, I think that we've been more than accommodating to him. and I don't know what else. I mean, it's just, he's supposed to be here like anybody else to address violations. We've been more than accommodating with him. And I just don't know what else we can do. So why is he not here now?
He can't get out of bed. He can't even leave the room. He has a bedpan. He can't literally can't move. I went to pick him up like I promised the court that I would, but I saw him in this condition and there's just no way he can make it to court today. I mean, the only thing I can ask the court is if we could, because the doctor said he, you know, in the note that I showed the court yesterday, he has until the 13th of this month. I'm just asking that the court, if the court could reset this to the 13th, and then he'll be here. once he's released.
It's always one thing. We're going to get here the 13th. He's still not going to show up. So it's going to be something else. My only concern if this someone else is blowing into the machine, and that's what I'd like to know, because if it is, it's unacceptable, and I'm not going to put up with it. I mean, that's just. You let me know. I mean, I'd like to see pictures. I want to know if someone else is blowing into the machine.
I'm looking at them right now. I have like the screenshots in the email I forwarded, and they're covered, and then I'm not sure if this is the defendant or not, but it's the vendor that stated it's not him.
Which day? And then can we,
The covered camera that someone else.
can we show to, can you email to Mr. Bassi so he can see it as well,
Yeah, of course.
please? Can you take a look and just see what they're talking about, whether it's him or not? And then let's powwow again. Okay, thanks. Ms. Turner, I saw that you have someone today. Who was it again?
I have a couple. So first is a quick question on Chadwick Brown. So we were working out an offer with the state, a time served, but it's been 16 years since the first offense. He hasn't picked up anything else, so no.
Sorry.
No, okay. Okay, next one was Tweety. We filed a motion to withdraw, but he's waived, so we'll have to set him.
Let me see. Who's the next one?
Tweety, Justin,
Tweety's the last name?
yes.
I don't see it. Is it under a different name? Yeah.
252-6597.
That's weird. Do you see Tweety on the docket? Tweety, Tweedy.
Yes, Judge, there's a Tweety on top.
I mean, it's 150 days. I don't know if I'm going to grant something at 150 days. It's time for him to, so let's do this. I'm setting him for a week. He's got to be here in a week, and then tell him that I'm not happy with him, and we'll see how we go forward. But so SFBF 1 week, please, on Tweety. And then we'll tell him I'm extremely unhappy, and we'll see when he comes
Hopefully, I
back.
haven't been able to get him, but.
Just
I'll
do,
try.
but CYA always. So
Right.
if he's not responding to phone calls, if he's not responding to text messages, send a letter so that you CYA. And if he's not here next time, I'm revoking the bond.
We'll do.
Then I'll grant your motion.
We'll do another, but I'm gonna speak to the client.
Take your time. Mr. Flores, come up. So I can appoint lawyers, but I have to follow certain guidelines, right? The guideline is you have to be at the federal poverty guideline level for me to appoint a lawyer. We don't just give it out. So, I'm sorry. So you here on you tell me that you have a 4,000 month income coming in. Are you married?
No, sir.
So you put here spouse or other household income. Who is that?
My girlfriend.
Okay, so it's not your money.
Well, we both work. We both work. So it's combined. It said total at the bottom. So I just added it.
Okay, but I don't think that that's your money then. It's her money and I'm not gonna, okay. I'm gonna grant it for you. Okay. All right. Thanks. You can just take a seat. Thanks. Hey.
Last one. Oh, the reason it didn't show up is because he got moved over to ERD. That's why.
Right.
I have Guzman Lopez on docket today. He set for an arraignment. It's an old case. He
That's
showed
who it
up to
is.
court and then, so he rehired us and he's back today.
Okay, so they've given you a PTI
We're
offer.
taking it.
Okay, so Mr. Guzman Lopez, come on up. All right, Mr. Guzman, you've been given a great offer where they're willing to dismiss the case in exchange for you doing several things. What all does he need to do?
Just an effective decision-making class, Your Honor.
Is that the only thing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all you need to do is an effective decision-making class and they'll dismiss this case. That's something you can be done online and it's only a couple hours. Your case is getting up there. It's time. We will give you a reset. Got to have it done though. Do you understand? The quicker you do this, the quicker it gets dismissed. Okay, all right, thanks. All right, good luck, Mr. Guzman.
Your Honor, whenever you get a chance, we have another arraignment that walked in.
Just walked in.
Said he went to his felony court.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Mr. Emilio.
Ready? Yeah.
All right, it's gonna be Mr. Mendoza on page 19. Mendoza.
I don't think this is an arraignment.
Well, it's listed as.
No, it's not an arraignment. It's just a normal setting. I don't know why it's listed as an arraignment. Let's do this. Just take a seat. Don't leave. We need to get in contact with your lawyer. Okay? All right.
Because it might be out of place for long.
I don't know. We did.
I've never, I haven't been able to master it. When it still says the ring, I just call it.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's okay, but I don't understand why. It shouldn't be listed. I'll call you. Oh, good. You saw. Okay. I don't know why it's set for an arraignment.
I'm not sure, because he bonded out.
Then that's why. Okay, so we need to do more bond conditions on him then.
Yes, and he already has the same bond conditions, Judge. He has been testing twice a week.
Oh, that's right. He tested positive for, right. Coming up. I will now test you 2 times a week. The next time you test positive, your bond is going to explode. You can either try to take care of these demons on your own. If you don't, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand? Next time you test positive, I don't care what it is. I don't care what you're doing, where you're going, or what you blame it on. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay, today's Tuesday. See you in 2 days. All right.
But you just want to put in place the previous bond conditions?
Yeah, but we're going to be testing 2 times a week now. He'll come in and test Monday and Thursdays.
The bond is being voted, so we can just vote on the conditions.
Hey, whatever happened with your boy with the community service? You ever get it done?
You signed the dismissal.
I don't, I mean,
Yeah, he got it done. He got it done.
wonderful.
It took him a while, but he got it done. So.
I'm glad he got it done. Yeah, good.
And same with Ms. Brown, it's gonna get dismissed today, so we're just waiting on the resolution. So.
Yeah, I have another bond violation on
It's sort
her.
of the same thing. So.
I don't know what is,
I have it right here. She had 2 no-shows, one on 11/11, one on 11/26. We had another GPS violation where
Don't get
alerts,
dismissed.
messages, and signals were sent to notify them. It was only charged for 33 minutes, 5 days prior to the violation.
Unacceptable.
So, they're instructed to charge her for at least an hour a day. We notified her multiple times beforehand.
Okay, I mean, whatever. If it gets dismissed today, it gets dismissed. If it doesn't get dismissed today, it's, you know, sure. It stains. It's like that. It's supposed to be like that. It's not like.
This everything.
It's intentional. It's intentional.
It kind of does look intentional, Judge.
It is. It's got it everywhere.
Ah, then it's not stain.
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, thank you.
I'm Jack.
It's all over.
Right here.
No.
I got some paper towels over here, but.
Okay. Let me see if I can find some.
We have a plea for Mr. Mann, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Yeah.
This Anthony Mann.
So the tampering, I guess it's going to be dismissed in exchange for the discharging, right?
Correct.
Understand why it's not on here. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement, Mr. Mann. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. Do you understand? Is this what you want to do? It looks like the agreement that you guys have worked out is you're pleading guilty to the discharging of firearm in the metropolitan area. If there was a weapon in this case, it now will be forfeited. You're not going to get it back. As a part of this agreement, they're going to dismiss your second case against you. It looks like they've offered you 12 days in jail, giving you credit for the 60 that you've done. So you're going to walk out of here today. What you need to understand, though, is that this is going to go on your record. And from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? This is not the way, man. Get a job. Do something worthwhile in your life. The older you get, life gets more difficult. The more convictions you rack up, it's so hard to be a black man today in today's society. All you're doing is making it more difficult, man. If you don't have an education, you ain't got a good job, you're gonna be nothing when you hit 70, man. Life sucks when you're old and you ain't got money. Now's the time for you to work hard and do something. Good luck, man. Abandoned.
Judge, can I just confirm that cause of support? Just making sure, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you guys familiar with Grizzy's Hood News? You've never seen that on Facebook? Should check it out. So I have a Tubi here, and they caught it through Grizzy's Hood News. It's really cool. You should check it. She goes around Houston and profiles and sees everything, kind of like uses, I don't know how, maybe a police scanner, but she's like all over and hits the spots right when people are either getting arrested or something's going on. Check it out. Grizzy's Hood News. And here I'm signing a Tubi because of Grizzy's Hood News. It's amazing. Yeah, it's, wow. She does good stuff. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did review the steals, and they all all of those between Jonathan Kelly. However, the ones that are covered is what the issue here, but the steals itself are all Jonathan Kelly.
Do they look like him? I couldn't.
So
I didn't think-
I couldn't personally tell, But what I'm assuming that the vendor is talking about, because they're the ones that obviously confirm our device violations, is that due to the camera being covered in multiple instances, that they're thinking that, you know, that's either due to them just covering the camera, but most of the time it's due to somebody else blowing into the device, and that's why it's being covered. The camera.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm now modifying his bond conditions to put a scram on his ankle. I can't trust him to do what it's going to do, so I'll give him 2 days to get the scram on. He's got to come get it, but I can't trust him.
Just for, you know, the sake of my client, he did have a scram device at one point. There were no violations of the scram. And the scram caused some type of injury to his leg because of the swelling of his ankles. So. I mean,
He's covering the camera. I should revoke his bond right now because he's not even here.
I understand.
You know, I'm tired of the drama. I'm tired of it. It's one thing after the other. He's covering the camera, which he shouldn't be doing. And he knows damn well he's not supposed to be covering the camera. I mean, there's a complete thumbprint all over the camera. I've repeatedly told him to come here. How on earth do I know that he can't, that he's stuck there? I mean, what proof do I have? Did you go to his house?
Yes, I did. I literally, like I told the court yesterday, I would go and pick him up. When I went there,
Okay.
he was in no condition to leave.
What does that mean? He was in no condition to leave?
He had one of those porta potties in his room because he just can't leave his business. He had one of those urinals, and you know, he was just in bad condition. He was in real bad condition.
I guess not bad enough to consume alcohol though, because he's testing positive, you know?
After the surgery,
There's no excuse. I don't care if you're having this, that. No alcohol means no alcohol. And having surgery doesn't justify it though. So I'm modifying his conditions now. He's got 2 days to get the scram on. If he doesn't get it on in 2 days, then I'm gonna have another hearing and we'll see whether his bond gets revoked or not. But and I'm gonna tell you now, I'm up to here with the excuses and I'm up to here with everything. No, I'm letting him know now. Shh. Jonathan Kelly.
I'm here.
I find your behavior while you are on bond in this court unacceptable. You have repeatedly violated the conditions of this court, trying to use illness as a method of consuming alcohol. I cannot trust you to use the camera because you are not doing it as ordered. So I'm now ordering you to come and get a scram device on your ankle. And I'm going to tell you now, there's absolutely no tolerance. The next time you test positive for any kind of alcohol, any kind of substance that you're not supposed to be using, I'm going to put you in jail. And I don't care if counsel is up here crying, pleading, begging, this, that, it makes absolutely no difference to me. But using illness to be able to consume is unacceptable. And I'm not going to tolerate it any longer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm modifying the conditions. You must have the scram within the next 2 days. If you fail to have it, I'm going to revoke your bond. We will continue with court settings on the 13th. No more waived appearances. So he must appear here on that setting and we will go forward. How old is this case?
This case is back from.
It's 88 days.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that we probably get moving on it because if he does need treatment, prolonging the case is just delaying the inevitable, right? And I don't want to do that. If Mr. Kelly needs treatment, then I think that we need to get him moving on it. But when I find someone that continues to violate, that tells me a lot. So, okay, Mr. Kelly, you now are apprised of what your conditions are. No more violations. 3 strikes, you're out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, are you reinstating? He has a warrant for his arrest now, misdemeanor warrant for his arrest now.
Did I not reinstate it the other day? I thought I did.
Say yesterday, Your Honor.
Well, it still showed up as of this morning.
Who is it?
Kelly,
Yeah, it is reinstated.
it's reinstated. I reinstated it yesterday. Yeah,
So Judge, are we taking away the portable and just adding a scram or?
correct. Yeah, there's no need for the portable if he's got the scram. But scram first, and then you take the portable off. Okay, and I keep a close eye, please, because I want to know if he has any more violations. That's it. Hey, yes, sir.
Bringing a shared code book at the moment. We may have to have you look at a couple interesting things.
Okay.
And this is on the Trevor Flores case, Judge, and I think you visited with that gentleman earlier. He's present here in the courtroom at the moment.
Okay.
But I got the case this morning. I've had a chance to do a kind of little bit of digging
Cursory.
into. Yes, and although we are still waiting for the bulk of discovery in the case. He's charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon following a traffic stop. And I've got a map that is kind of intriguing. I think you'll find just with the way it's drawn. But he stopped by an officer with the City of Bel Air Police Department, and may I approach to just show you this delineation. For a second, but this is, but he's pulled over going.
I know the area well.
Northbound. He's pulled over going northbound on 610 as he, what is described as makes an unsafe lane change. So he's northbound on 610, wants to get on 59 to go southbound, is erroneously in the wrong lane going northbound. The officer says that she is observes him, makes that unsafe lane change, and that lane change is outside of the City of Bel Air Police Department jurisdiction. Now, we have a particular statute that governs whether officers can have the authority to make a detention of someone when they are outside of their jurisdiction, and that's 14.03 of
Their PD can still stop someone outside of Bel Air.
Not for, well, according to the code, it says a peace officer.
That would mean that any officer outside would never be able to do anything.
No, that's incorrect. There's a very limited exception, and that's what applies in this case. So it says a peace officer who's licensed and is outside of the officer's jurisdiction may arrest without a warrant a person who commits any offense within the officer's presence or view, other than a violation of subtitle C, Title 7 of the Transportation Code. So generally, any offense that an officer sees, he can arrest that person or detain them, as the way the code uses that term, arrest. He can detain that person. But when it's for a traffic offense, that officer is required.
He's not arresting him for a traffic offense, though.
Well, that was the basis for the stop.
Sure.
But the way the code contemplates arrest, it's any, and that's defined in, I think, in chapter 15. But arrest as contemplated by the code includes detention. And so this officer doesn't have the ability where that stop takes place to make that detention. That officer could detain him if he saw him committing theft, could detain him if he saw him committing an assault, can't for a transportation
So,
code.
but
violation.
he stops him for whatever reason it is, right? Comes up to the car and he smells marijuana.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
And
that's
then
what-
don't they even get a drug sniffing dog? Is this the one where they get a drug sniffing dog and they find the weed and?
No, Your Honor, that's it.
Was that a different case?
No, it's a different case, Judge, but the handgun, I believe, was in.
It was in plain view.
No, I think it, well, so I think what's alleged is it's in conjunction with possession of marijuana. And for purposes of just this limited PC question, not, my focus is solely the detention. I'm not.
It's certainly crafty. It's great. But he's not arresting him for the traffic offense.
Well, but I think we're looking at a limited scope of what arrest means. So I think you're looking at arrest as in
So you, I
being
mean, you
arrested.
would be saying that really if he had committed an ag rob, right? Or kidnapping, then even if he had kidnapped, like, let's say he had a 2-year-old child in the car that he had kidnapped across state lines. Well, then, according to this, because he's in a different jurisdiction, then he couldn't arrest him on that kidnapping charge
If
too.
he saw a kidnapping taking place, the officer could arrest him under that code. But what he can't do is when there's a traffic code violation, we don't allow for example, the El Paso Police Department to come to Houston and then sit on the street corner and arrest people for traffic violations. We don't allow them to make those stops. And that's what's at issue here, is a peace officer who's outside of his jurisdiction able to enforce the traffic
I
code.
know where you're going and I've seen it before, but I'm not.
And we're looking at G1.
Where exactly did it occur anyways?
Let me see if I can pull up the
So I
exact
think-
address. We don't have like any discovery in
Sure.
this case, or how many dash cam or anything like
So what it says in there is 5600 610 northbound. And what's so curious about this is
That's still in Bel Air? Is it
no,
outside? of
that would be
Bel Air?
outside of Bel Air too. And going northbound, southbound lanes are covered in the city of Bel Air. The northbound lanes, for some reason, are not.
I don't know. We'd have to look closer. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
mean,
happy to
it's
look
something
further
that
into this.
You have to
Judge.
look, I mean,
can't make
I
any-
can't make that determination now.
Fair enough.
Number two,
Yes.
he's not arresting him on a traffic offense.
Well, and I think what the code contemplates when it says arrest, and I think there's case law on this, is that it includes the concept of detention as that's been, because I think when that code was written.
And so what I'm saying would apply as well, though, like if he catches a 2-year-old kid, right, that's been kidnapped, by your theory, he wouldn't be able to arrest him on a kidnapping charge too.
Well, it's not my theory, it's the code.
If he has a dead body in the car, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, that's a legislature question. And I mean, but they wrote that.
I can't imagine that the legislature intended that. I think that they intended for a traffic, let's say for speeding, right? Or your tail light is out. Yeah, not to arrest in that respect. But he goes up to the car, smells marijuana, sees a gun in plain view. I can't imagine the legislature intended in that purpose.
And my position, of course, is that, this may be for a motion to suppress later down the line, and I think there's still
But
plenty more to do in the
it's a
case.
freaking awesome argument.
Well, but the idea
I love you.
is
Mr. You're wonderful.
no right to
Right.
detain him.
Right? Really?
I appreciate the judge, and we'll get it.
I'm not ready yet, but build it. If you build it, they will come. And then we'll take a look down the road and yeah,
Thank you, Judge.
for sure.
Oh, don't forget your phone.
Mr. Kim,
Just here for one case for Chisholm.
she's here, I see her. Hi, Miss Oko.
Good morning, Judge.
I think, so this one is going to be Everett Stubs. He's, yes, he's in the back.
Okay, do we need him out? Please.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. And I actually spoke with
Thanks.
the bonds person on this case in Alabama. Apparently there was a mistake in the reset dates, and she didn't get the reset date, neither did Mr. Stubbs, and the attorney who got it withdrew and didn't tell anyone that he withdrew. So he never got the information over to Mr. Stubbs. And on this particular case, there's only been one court date that Mr. Stubbs went to, and this would have been the second one that he didn't know about, which is why he didn't go up to Alabama for it.
Wait a second. So you're telling me that there was an original lawyer that represented him in the
In
previous
Alabama.
case?
In Alabama, no judge.
Okay. So
Yes.
Well, I'll wait until.
yeah, let's wait till I guess he comes out so he can tell me.
Sounds good.
So I guess he just didn't make his court date in Alabama is what it.
Can't just take, I just can't take their word for it. Obviously, if I have it in writing, and obviously if they withdraw.
Of course.
Can't do it.
Have you spoken to anyone?
They
in
confirmed it
Alabama?
on the teletype. I checked. They want him held on no bond. They're wanting to extradite him.
It looks like he's got 2 serious cases here
He
too.
has
Yes.
history in 5 different states, Judge.
Oh.
So I'll wait until.
Yeah. Prior fugitive. Okay. He's an interesting name.
Ivernal.
It's Invernal?
When I was speaking with the bonds lady, she called him Ivernal, so I think it's Ivernal.
Good morning, Mr. Stubs.
How you doing?
How are you?
Okay, you, sir?
Is it Ivernal, Invernal?
It's Ivernal.
Ivernal. That's an interesting name.
Thanks.
Interesting.
It's different.
All right, so Mr. Stubbs, it looks like you are wanted out of Alabama for,
The possession of marijuana first degree theft.
wow.
Because of the amount. It didn't
Is
say.
it a capital weed case?
I don't know how much it is, Judge.
Yeah. So it looks like you're wanted for a first degree possession of marijuana case. What would you like, Ms. Oko?
So Judge, we would like for a bond to be set for him to get out. Of course, I know, on this particular case, he has made the one court date that has actually been set, according to his bonds lady, and this would have been the second one, but due to issues happening with the court itself, there is a change of staffing at the jail, according to the bonds lady. And so they had issues with court resets, and they sent out wrong court dates, and people just didn't make those court dates because they never got it. And that's why Mr. Stubbs is here today. He is more than capable of going to his court date in Alabama, taking care of this warrant. And he does hope to get his bond renewed in Alabama because this was a mistake on their end. So he just wants a low bond so that he can pay it, take care of Alabama, and then come on back to his family here in Houston.
Do you have a lawyer in Alabama?
Somehow my lawyer got sick. Somehow he got sick and he was taking off my case. So instead of them sending my case to someone in the law firm with him, somehow I was appointed a court appointer.
And I know the new name.
What I would suggest, the thing is though, is that if they made a mistake, then many times they'll own up on the mistake and reinstate and release the hold.
That's what the lawyer was trying to get the hold released, him and the bondsman. They've been working together to try and get it released.
So what I would do is you'd use, I mean, because now here, I don't know if I'm going to give you a bond, Mr. Stubbs. I got to tell you that I take this extremely serious, right? I don't know you. I've never met you before. Everybody that comes over here tells me it's little bunnies jumping in the woods and rainbows and gumdrops, but when they get out, they turn into a completely different person. And my main concern is public safety. That's what I want, right?
I'll tell you firsthand, I'm an adult, sir.
I'm sorry?
I'm an adult. So therefore, I never missed a court date. The ones that I have had, I don't care where I'm at. If I have to drive 1,000,000 miles, I would drive 1,000,000 miles to show up for court because I don't want to be in this position. First of all,
in and out for some reason, and I don't know why.
But mistakes the courts made.
Tell me, how long has this warrant been open?
The warrant's been open since January 2024. It was a month before he picked up 2 felonies in our jurisdiction, impeding breath for a family.
So that warrant's been open since January.
Yes, Your Honor. And then a month after, he picked up 2 felonies in our jurisdiction, an assault family member, impeding breath, and an evading motor vehicle. He said 3 failure to ID out of 2 different jurisdictions, and he had a prior fugitive case in 2006. Because of all those factors, I believe he's the definition of a flight risk. He literally drove away from the police and failed to ID himself at least 3 different occasions in 2 different jurisdictions.
Is that an allegation or something that took place?
Look, the only way that I really get to know you is paper, because that really tells me who you are. What you tell me now goes in here, goes in there, because I never met you before, right? So that's how I really get to know you. But the problem is this warrant from Alabama has been open for a year.
It's been open for 3 years.
No, the warrant that was been issued in this case. You've had an entire year to take care of this.
I never knew about the warrant because my bondsman wasn't contacted, nor was I contacted because the lawyer fell off the face of the earth.
It's your responsibility. No one is going to call you, hey, Mr. Stubbs, it's time to take care of this criminal case. Come on, man, it's time to take care of it. Criminal cases don't work like that, man. When you hire a lawyer, you hire them to defend you, And, you know, the more money you spend, the better representation you get, and the more you pay to get babied, right? Like these really grandiose lawyers, they will baby the heck out of you, right? Because you pay for it.
All the courts basically, and every day until they tell me I have a new court date, or is my lawyer.
Yeah,
that I
if that's
pay.
what it takes, then yeah, yes.
But Judge, and I wanted to say in his defense, the bonds lady did state that he had been in contact with her as per the new court date, whatever new court date was set out. And when they issued out the court date, she didn't know about it until he missed it. He didn't know about it until he missed it. He has been in contact with his bonds lady in Alabama. What I can do is I can reach out to his attorney. I believe his name is Chris Albert. I will reach out to him in Alabama and see if I can get some sort of written correspondence from a prosecutor in Alabama. That way they can kind of rectify this whole thing.
That would I just, not only do you have 2 open cases here, but you've also said he picked up other cases in other states as well?
No, I'm saying he has history in 4 other states. He's had,
History in 4 other states?
Yes, Your Honor.
You know?
I'm not from Texas. I've just moved here. I mean, I haven't been in trouble in over 12 years, you know.
You've got 2 open felony cases. It's been open since February.
Take them to trial right now today, because when those allegations, I was in jail.
Dude, let's not talk about, don't talk about the cases.
Trial now. I'm guilty to prove innocent, right?
Let's do this. Ms. Chisholm, can we roll it to tomorrow? Will you reach out and see if it is a true error in their part? Maybe
Absolutely.
Release the hold?
Yes, Judge.
I don't feel comfortable. This thing's been open for a year. You've known it's been open for a year. I mean, now the only reason you want to take care of it is because we got you, when you should have
I never
been
knew
proactive.
I never knew I had a warrant.
It's okay. And Judge, I'll get some written correspondence. Hold on, Mr. Stubbs. Mr. Stubbs, hold on. I'm gonna get some written correspondence to that effect. That way we can have something on paper. And if we can't get it on paper, then we'll take it on from there. But I'll do my best to reach out to Alabama folks.
Mr. Stubbs, she's great. That's why we have her working with us to try to help resolve these issues. You know, if they can, hopefully they'll release the hold.
Yes, Judge. I'll start working on it now, but we'll roll it till tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
So I will have to come back to court tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I will be deprived of sleep, held under duress, and still have to go through the same. I haven't eaten since Wednesday.
You haven't eaten since Wednesday?
Don't eat meat. They only bring you bologna sandwiches. I'm tired of going through it, Judge. I don't do anything
I don't know
wrong.
if they have vegetarian.
I haven't been in any trouble.
They have vegan stuff in jail.
When you peanut butter and jelly, they don't. They only give you that on the dorm. And if I'm here at court, how am I going to eat?
I mean, I work at jail. They have vegan meals.
But if I'm in court, how do I get a hot
So
tray?
let's see, you know, you can have someone give you commissary.
Johnny's.
You have commissary?
I can't go to commissary. I haven't been to commissary yet. I've been here a week.
Oh, you just got arrested.
I just got arrested I just got here last Wednesday. I was extradited from Dallas County to here.
Oh, so you weren't even here in Dallas.
I
You weren't
wasn't
even
here, so I did 10 days. They actually had dropped the warrant. Somehow I have a fugitive charge with a new case number that's not even the case number in Alabama.
That actually makes sense because we wouldn't have filed ours unless he made bond and we had no other interstate. So that makes sense.
And I'll tell you, it's going to continue to happen eternally until you get back over there.
I mean, I think my lawyer died, so that I heard. I have a paid lawyer. I feel that my case should have went to.
If you got a paid lawyer and they drop the ball, then you need to go file a complaint with the state bar.
I just found this out.
Mr. Stubbs, we're gonna try and take care of it on our end, okay?
I've got Ms. Oko working
All
on
right.
it. Okay.
Yes. So he can go back. He can go back. Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Oko.
Yes, sir. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
You're the best. Hunter.
That would be for Williams, Calvin.
Okay. Calvin Williams coming up. Mr. Williams, you're charged with failure to stop and give information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. Was there any restitution in this case?
No, Your Honor.
No, there wasn't.
Really?
I believe it was taken care of. Like a $300 issue.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, or possible immigration consequences, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this. Understand, from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You understand? How do you plead to the offense of failure to stop and give information? I will find you guilty. Sentence you to the 3 days in jail, give you credit for the 2. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey.
Hey, Judge. Judgment Day.
Come up. What do we do with Mr.
Well, they
Cabrera?
want to offer him time served. I really think he should take it and be done with it.
Okay.
He'll never.
It's up to you. If you want to do it, do it. Write it up.
Write it up. Thanks.
Write it up.
Yes, sir. We'll write it up. He'll never make probation. He can't even get to court, man. So, yeah, we're gonna do your paperwork. I'll tell you what's happening. Thanks, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. I know you've done a lot.
I am.
I know.
Yeah.
You're doing good. Hi, Lori.
If he wasn't 18 years old and 17 years old, Judge, I would have dumped him because he was 18.
Thank you. Staying.
I mean, obviously, he takes.
Malik Swearingen, it's very old. I'm still waiting. I just got in touch with Helena. She's sending over the appointment form to do the on bond evaluation.
What do you want?
I just need time to get him found incompetent and then.
He's here.
I know, but he was in custody and they got him out. His parents got him, his mom got him out.
They gave him a PR bond.
No, we did this before you, in front of you, with his mother and his great grandfather.
So I gave him a PR bond?
Mm-hmm, because he has a competency issue and mom was concerned about him staying in. So we filed the competency report, but Helena never got with us to give us the on bond appointment form, on bond appointment. So she's sending that now. I just need another reset so we can get him to the appointment and get the report.
Can we get the appointment first?
Yeah, we're
The
waiting to
reset?
get that.
Let's do it, but I don't want to do the reset yet until we get a date, you know? Let's get a date and then we'll do the reset based on whatever that, yeah. Do you want me to reach out so we can get it quicker? What's the name? Who is it? No, the White. Alex, do me a favor, will you please? So look at Msina, if you don't mind. Msina, he's on docket today. And Melissa brought something to my attention where you guys filed a violation of a protective order against him. And in the violation of a protective order, it says it's because he goes back to the house in question. It looks like I amended that MOA to allow him to go back to this house.
Let me see here.
So how could they file the VPO?
Also because what happened also, he didn't amend the pretrial conditions. So the pretrial condition never amended it, that he could go back home.
But it's still in the MOA.
It is, but they also go with the pretrial order.
What's the name?
Msina.
Your Honor, it looks like the violation of a BPO case was pled to be the violation of a bond condition, not the motive.
So whoever was working with us that day didn't do what they're supposed to do. Because I had allowed this person to go back to the house.
Yes, so that's what it's pled as, is because of that bond condition.
Correct. So someone over there dropped the ball. Regardless, he still has a felony case he's in.
Right.
And he still has another, right?
It's our case.
So, I mean, he's not going anywhere, but I don't think that that's a true case. You know what I mean?
Right, because it was supposed to be amended. Right.
So
The bond conditions from July.
August, I amended the conditions. It looks like August.
Yeah, I only have pretrial conditions from July, so nobody ever was here.
Was here. Tell who was here August 1st.
Because in our information, it alleges a hearing officer of Cheryl Diggs. I don't know who Cheryl Diggs is, on behalf of.
But she wouldn't know,
Right.
or she could see that I amended it.
Right.
But she probably wouldn't know about, that also includes bond condition as well. So, I mean, I'm gonna find no PC on it.
Okay.
But I need to, hey. Ms. Siegler. Kelsey, hey, I need to bring something to your attention, please. If you don't mind, Msina is the last name. So Mr. Msina is on bond for an AFM with us. While he's on bond for this, in August, they came over here and they wanted us to amend the bond conditions to allow him to go back to the house, and I did. It's reflected in the VP, in the protective order where August 1st, I amended it to go back to the house. Someone, whoever was working pretrial that day, because we've gone through so many different pretrial officers, literally, I mean, since Fleischer has been here, she's probably our eighth. We've they didn't do, and they didn't amend the conditions that and they should have.
So I see that the ones from July that we have are from the magistrate. So whenever in August, when they came in, it was.
August 1st, they've also should have amended the conditions as well, because the way they have it pled is they have it pled as a violation of a condition of bond as opposed to a VPO.
So I see new state's motion for bond conditions, so I'm not sure if they just went under state's conditions instead of pretrial, because at that point, then they're deactivated with us and those conditions are with the magistrate. And then as far as finding out who the officer is, there's no way of knowing since there's no documentation that was made that day. But it looks like on our end, they're under, well, I see, because you got a BVR, correct? A BVR. So what I think happened is whenever we transferred it over to the state's conditions instead of the previous magistrate conditions, nobody went in and deactivated their case on our end. So it's a violation because just nobody deactivated.
Should have
So
been a
we've
violation.
Still,
allowed him to go back to the
checking through
house.
those conditions.
So I think I'm gonna find no PC on it, because we amended it to let him to go back to the house, and someone over there dropped the ball, didn't also amend the conditions there, so that when an officer's on the beat and he sees it, you know, he'll see the conditions and he doesn't know that we had amended it. Or he didn't take the time to look at the VPO to see that we amended it and put one and one together. So regardless, he's still being held on the felony case. And because of he picked the felony case, I'm still gonna revoke his bond on the assault case. But I'm gonna find no PC on this.
I'll take like a little screenshot of it on my computer and send it over to a supervisor just to look over so we can maybe get something figured out so it doesn't happen in the future.
Okay.
I'll let you know what to say.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You ready?
Yes, sir. My introduction.
This is a shame, Cabrera. It's unfortunate that you have not, you've one violation after the other. At some point, it's going to catch up to you, and it's going to be at the worst possible time. Something is going to be going on in your life. Something's going to happen. Criminal cases usually tend to pop up and people catch them at the worst possible time. Shh. This is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. And I want you to understand, if you're ever in a car, you get pulled over and you have any kind of funky smell, they're going to see this. What do you think they're going to do to you? Right. Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke, even the slightest, I wouldn't ever get in a car because you're begging for trouble. From now on, what we're doing today, you're facing now a minimum of 30 days in jail. If you're not smart enough to consider how to get home on a night of drinking, I will treat you like a child. I will put you over my knee like a child, and I will spank you like a little child, but I will do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Sir.
It's not hard. Every day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. Every single day. It's a shame. And it's so preventable. One button, $30, wherever you want to go in the city, don't matter where you want to go. Use it. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 8 days that you've done. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no turning back. You can't change this. Do you understand?
Sir.
Here's the thing. You have to be punished somehow. Because I want you to understand that we mean business. And I don't think that there's any bigger way to punish someone than to hit them where it really hurts.
Sure.
Number one is jail. Number two, the pocketbook. You will be required to pay the fines and fees in this case. And if you don't, every $100 that you owe, you will sit in jail. Vic and I cannot possibly let you go the way that you have comported and the way that you've acted yourself these last 6 months or however long that you and I have been dancing. It's unacceptable.
Sir.
And I want you to understand that we mean business. And if you don't pay it, you're going to owe somewhere like $3,500 right now.
Sir.
And if you don't, $100 in jail, you will sit for 1 day for every $100.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. That is the minimum. Do not drive until you get a license. Otherwise, you're going to be right back over here. A suspended license case is a class B, just like a DWI. Don't drive. The worst possible thing you can do is drive. Mr. Reyes.
Yes, Your Honor.
I want you to thank your lawyer, because I'm going to tell you now, any other person, they would have dropped you like a bad habit, but he has been nice enough to stay with you this entire time, no matter how many times he's had to put up with your behavior, not to mention, who knows if you even got any money for this case, you know? So you're lucky that you have him even here with you. How do you plead with the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'll find you guilty. I'll send you the agreement. Good luck, Mr. Cabrera.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. So I'll roll the court cost, but I want him to pay the DPS fine, 3,000. Yeah. Listen, I'm giving you a lot of time to pay, but don't stop, because if you do, you will be doing a lot of time in jail. And this isn't the one where you just bond out and you get, no, 100 for every day in jail. I'm going to waive the court costs, but you're going to be doing the other one. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Judge.
Got to get through to him somehow, Mr. Reyes.
You're right.
90 days. Are you guys ready? I think this is the last thing we got today. Do you want me to bring him out? Do we need to bring him out?
Yes, you can, Judge.
Mine, please. Bio. Please. Really? Good job. And?
Yeah.
I think that's smart, putting them on notice that, hey, look, you have a potential issue and it could really blow up. And the last thing we need are more issues, right? We have enough drama.
Yes, that's true.
Are they going to do anything? No? Just, I guess, wait it out?
So,
Well, you know what? Look, let's
I-
not, because Aaron's not even here.
yes, so let's, yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait till tomorrow.
Yes, I just wanted to bring it up to your attention first because my own due diligence, because I know she's scared, so I just needed to present it to you, Judge. Thank you for your
We'll
time.
take care of it for sure in the morning. I'm ready for a nap. Like a big meal and a nap, and then Fortnite. No, I'm I'm in La La Land.
He's looking at the bunnies hopping through the forest.
There you go.
Rainbows and gumdrops.
I don't know how I often slow down progress, Judge, but somehow, at least I'm consistent.
Yeah.
So. Listen, you don't need to say a word.
Morning, Mr. Bio. You speak English, right?
Yes.
Okay. Shh. All right, Mr. Bio, you're charged initially as of, it looks like November 7th, you picked up an assault of a family member. I see now that you've picked up a new case. As of November 30th, you've picked up a violation of a bond condition or protective order. I don't know which it is. All I know is that you picked up a violation case. You're facing now another year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. I haven't done probable cause, so we're going to do that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. Sir.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas in response to a disturbance. The complainant stated that he was locked out of his residence by his ex-wife's new boyfriend. Complainant went to the residence because his ex-wife had called them and stated that she was going to work. When the complainant asked who would be watching their children, the ex-wife said a friend. Complainant then heard defendant's voice in the background and went over to the apartment. Complaining witness is the same complainant.
You said he heard whose voice?
The complainant heard the defendant's voice in the background. I think that the complainant believed that the defendant would be watching his and his ex-wife's children, and that's why he went over to the apartment. Complainant is the same complainant from a pending AFM, and the apartment address where the defendant was staying is listed on a signed order of protection.
How bad of an assault were we talking in the original case? What happened is
I think it was a
Punch,
punching in
slap.
the face with a closed fist.
once, twice, thrice?
2 to 3 times, it looks like, Judge.
Okay.
And I can give some excellent background on that, that I think they're also still working through.
On the assault case, we issued a protective order, I would imagine.
Yes, and I've got a copy of that, Judge, if you need to
And
see.
did we order him not to have contact with this person?
Yes, but that's not the basis of the new charge. And so if we delve into the state's filed information, which is also the basis of the allegation that he violated, well, imagine you're hearing both kind of in conjunction, the new charge PC, but also considering the questions of bail with respect to the first charge as well.
Of course.
What's been alleged in the new information is that Mr. Bio went to the residence of the CW, Mr. McWilliams. as of the date when we first appeared in court, the representation was made by both Mr. McWilliams, and then today, the representation was made by the ex-wife of Mr. McWilliams, who is the dating partner of Mr. Bio. So, so he is dating this gentleman's ex-wife. But she has confirmed to both of us that McWilliams has moved out of that residence as of the date of the first alleged assault. And McWilliams has told them that. They have been unable to reach McWilliams as of recently. But in the RIP call information, McWilliams confirms, I moved out that day and do not live at the address that's at issue in this VPO case. If you look at the filed information in that VPO case, it's a necessary ingredient of that allegation that McWilliams live at that address. It specifically says it in the last line.
You're saying in the protective order?
Yes, Jim. Oh, no, not the protective order. In the violation of protective order case, if you look at the state's filed information in that case, you will see the last line is, to wit, he was at the complainant's residence, but Mr. McWilliams doesn't actually live there. He moved out. Actually, was not on the lease.
He's still not supposed to have contact with this person.
Well, he's not. He didn't have contact with him. What happens is he's at a place that is not McWilliams' address, and then McWilliams, angry that he's there, still wanting to control his ex-wife, comes over there and busts the windows. And so that is
what's the window of
his ex-wife's house where Mr. Bio.
What's the ex-wife's name?
Shannon.
Shannon. Okay, so
we both spoke to Shannon a few minutes ago.
And Shannon has how many kids with Mr. Bio? Or do they have kids or no? So whose kids are they? McWilliams?
Williams and Shannon's children.
Okay.
I think there's 2.
And so what's alleged in the newly filed charging document is that Mr. Bio went to the residence of McWilliams, which there's no PC to believe that. He did not go to the residence of McWilliams. He went to Shannon's residence. McWilliams does not live there, stopped living there, and the state can't meet the information. And so there's no PC on, my argument, Judge, is that there's no PC that the state or the officer.
So in our case, in the assault case, the protective order says that he's not supposed to go to this Spring Cypress, the apartment in Spring Cypress, right?
Well, contemplating that that's McWilliams's address.
Is that his address? Yes or no?
That is no longer his address, Judge.
Okay.
When that was filed, I imagine that was the original apartment, but on the
Because a lot of
day,
times they never updated. They just put the original apartment where it happened at, and they always assume that it's this, just.
so that's no longer the address. Mr. McWilliams moved out of that address on the day of the incident, and he told me he moved out. I believe that Shannon is the only name on the lease.
For the violation case, where is he alleged to have gone to?
He went to the address that's listed in the original MOA. So he went to the Spring.
Spring Cypress.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
But
what he's saying is that this person no longer lives there.
Well, that's what McWilliams told the state. And that's what Shannon has told both the state and myself. And that is what our full understanding is. Now, I know that address is listed in the protective order, but what's contemplated by the protective order is don't go to a place where McWilliams lives. And McWilliams is not living at the Spring Cypress.
The problem is that we also have this address there because he could always go back.
Well,
he may not live there. Maybe he lives there partially. Maybe he comes and goes.
But what told us was he was kicked out.
Also as a preventative measure so that we don't want you to actually or accidentally bump into this person. And that's why we have this there, is that he did live there at one time. Perhaps he may go back. He left an article of clothing. He left pizza there, or whatever it may be.
Well, what's really happening is he wants to go back and continue harassing his ex-wife. And that is what Shannon has represented, I think, to both of them. I wasn't privy to their phone call. Certainly what was represented to me And
What do you want?
well, I want no PC to be found on the violation of protective order charge because an element of that offense that's been alleged is that Mr. Bio went to the residence of McWilliams. McWilliams does not live there. It's not his residence. So there's no PC to believe that that element is met.
What do you think?
Judge, I don't know, on this matter,
I gotta think, it's described in the order is that address was PC, but the actual information.
I will say, Judge, in the charging instrument, the defendant it does say, he's not allowed to intentionally or knowingly go to a place specifically described in the order. The address in the order, that's where he was staying. But in terms of
The address in the order, who was staying
the defendant was staying at the address in the order.
in this
In the
protective
original
order?
Moab, Spring Cypress.
Okay.
The defendant was staying there. But I will say in terms of PC, I'm going to defer to the court on this matter.
And may I just read that little blurb of the information that I think is important for the court to hear? May I take a cheat and steal y'all's computer? Go ahead. So,
Do we still have a problem with him trying to communicate though?
no, he didn't want to have any communication. This gentleman comes over to the place and starts busting the windows.
I will say the complainant came to the place where the defendant was staying. Like he initiated the contact in the situation.
And what's alleged is, and it's the last clause, maybe two clauses, it says a place specifically described in the order, to wit, the residence of a protected individual, namely Mark, and it should say Mick Williams, but it says Mark Williams. So it's in order to meet this charging document, it would have to be that gentleman's residence, and he does not reside there as by his own representation to the state. And so I'd ask that, and I know it's a very unique situation.
How do we go forward though? If I find no PC, how do we go forward? No.
Well, goes back out on bond while we prepare our defense to the initial charge of assault, which I think they've seen quite a bit by way of background about Mr. McWilliams.
How do we know that this isn't going to happen again?
Well,
I will say, I'm not sure where Mr. Byer will be staying if he were to get out on bond, but the witness, Shannon, she is no longer living in her apartment as of tomorrow. So that address will no longer, it won't even belong to any of them as of tomorrow.
Do we do a no contact with both?
We would do no contact with the witness, with Shannon. But I would ask no contact with Mr. McWilliams.
You are now in a relationship with Shannon, right?
That's right, Judge. But yes,
so
I've instructed him, just let me answer for him, Judge, but he is in a relationship with Shannon. That's right. And he moved here from Hawaii to be with Shannon, and the ex-husband takes issue with it. And the ex-husband has a very violent history with Shannon. And so long-term, we think there'll be issues with case one even. But I understand that that's not really we're not there yet. I think the question is what to do if he is out. I do think, obviously, no contact whatsoever in any form, shape at all with Mr. McWilliams is appropriate. And that is what existed. Unfortunately, the state can't even reach McWilliams because he doesn't have a phone number that is even good.
Have you run an NCIC check on this McWilliams guy?
We can see his in-county criminal history, but I can run a new check on it.
Do you see? I mean,
I don't want to be
Pretty
incorrect,
expensive.
but I think he's got violent history with Shannon, but maybe Judge, when you get to be my age, it's hard to remember all the details, but I think I recall that, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't want to represent something inaccurate.
You have inherited a dangerous situation. And Mr. Bio, you need to be very careful. You know, if you are in a relationship with someone and they have another person that's in their life that's like this, you could be the bearer of bad times. So you need to be very careful. You're in a very volatile situation. So you need to be careful going forward because it really could just could go out of control. You may need to get a protective order yourself. You know, it's very possible that you may need to get a protective order. So just be careful. You're in good hands. You ever have any issues, just reach out to Brian. We can always help you out as well. I'll find no PC on the violation of a protective order, but just be careful because there are a lot of vindictive people in this life that will they'll try to make your life a living hell. And you being on bond in this case, they can do that. They can say, hey man, he's doing this to me. He's threatening me. He's doing that. And if an officer doesn't know any better and they come up and they see that you're have this open assault, they may never take your word. They may never even speak to you. They'll just put you in county. So you gotta be careful. You know, you're in good hands. We'll help you out for as much as we can. Okay. Okay. So I'll find OPC on the
And I think, Judge, what,
on the violation case. And I'm not going to revoke your bond on the original assault case, Mr. Bio, but you got to be careful, man. You know.
and Judge, I think you should also have him give his updated address to pretrial would be appropriate as well.
Okay. And I think there's probably somehow make a notation in everywhere so that we know where Shannon lives. You don't have an address for, McWilliams, so I don't know how we're going to handle
Well, I
that.
think the
but-
protective order does say any address where McWilliams does reside. So whether or not, I guess that'd be a notice question, but we know not to go anywhere where he lives.
I think the issue is whether this other person's going to now be, yeah.
You do understand all that?
Do you have any questions? Just be careful. Life's too short to live either in a 6x9 box or be 6 feet under because you got other people that have just be careful. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck. Good luck, Mr. Bio. When does it expire? Probably. Do you want me to, do you want me to amend this if this is where he's going to go live?
Well, I think he's moving out tomorrow. Well, she's moving out tomorrow.
Yes, Judge, she's being evicted.
I know, but.
Well, yes.
Smoke
Sure.
tells
If
him that
he
he
goes there
goes
tonight.
back to this place. And you're telling me that he lives there, right?
Well, I'm telling you that McWilliams doesn't live there. And
No, but you're also telling me that he lives there. I mean,
well, he should have the right to be there, yes. And the,
where's he gonna, no.
well, let me find out. I'll give you the correct address.
And then, then I'm gonna take this off if he's gonna go back here.
Yes.
And so we're gonna make this.
Yeah. So beware that if I'm amending this, like if he tells me he's gonna go back to the Spring Cypress, you guys need to amend it too, okay?
I think his conditions are with the state actually for that.
But I don't want the same thing to happen like what happened.
Yes, I double checked into it, and then I went ahead and did continued supervision on the PR bond that we supervised for the PDR you got, and then I deactivated the VPO.
Okay. Judge, he's gonna stay with a friend tonight and not go back to that address. And so we can leave that address. He's not going there tonight. He's gonna get out and he doesn't know the address because he doesn't have access to the phone right now. And he's gonna send me the address and I will give it to the court in the morning.
Yeah,
The
just
correct
give it to us and then we can figure out and I'll go forward.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. All
Thank you.
right, guys, we're done.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks. Good job today, guys. Good job. Like always. Like always.
What desserts do you?
No. It goes to like,
Oh, okay. I'll just
Yeah.
make whatever then. Yeah.
like to cook.
Yes, I'm a very good baker.
Really?
And a good chef.
I like to cook too.
Oh, very nice.
Love to cook.
There's just no time now with a job, but
For a profession, it was awful, but at home, it's great, you know?
well, then they don't complain. If you do it as a profession, people like.
It's nonstop bitching and complaining, and I
Yes.
want my food for free. Forget it. No. Ugh, it was awful.
We'll see y'all.
Really? All right, bye, guys.
That's funny.
The hell?
They're the worst when they have complaints about food. The worst. I was a server at Texas Roadhouse
Yeah,
for
me
six years.
They're rude.
They're so mean.
Wait, where were you a server?
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good food.
I was a server, a host, and a manager there. I worked there
Wow.
since I was 16 up until I finished college.
Wow, great.
And
Did you,
people are
did you work as a
terrible.
server
I was
too?
at Felina's Italian.
Yeah. Is that where you made your own pizza?
Yeah, but then they put the pepperoni underneath the cheese, which they need to stop doing because then everyone got really upset. Like, where's my pepperoni? And just, I don't know.
Why would they put it under the
I don't
cheese?
know. It was like every time. They're like, where's my pepperoni?
Maybe put it under and then over too.
Yeah, like bad enough where you can see it.
Yeah, people want to see it.
Right. No, but it teaches you a lot. People can be very nasty.
All right, bye guys. See you tomorrow.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Hang out. Hang out. Hang out just a minute. So, when I hit end here, it's automatically going to redirect over to the Boyd case. But, just in case it doesn't. I thought I had this up already. Hold on one second. Just in case it doesn't. I'll get a link for everybody. Link looks a lot like this. This is the that link that you're seeing in chat right now is the link that will take you to the Judge Boyd case that is premiering in 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And this has been the Fleischer Forum. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. There's been a lot of interesting cases. I really enjoyed seeing Miss Siegler out there showing her chops a little bit. It's been a short day, but it's been actually kind of judicially packed, so to speak. There was a lot of heavy lawyering going on. I find that very interesting personally. But all that being said, this Boyd case, guys, Boyd case, it's so interesting. Kid has been arrested and is on probation for evading the police, having an accident, bad things happening. He's looking at 10 years in jail. And he decides, one of the conditions of his probation is you can't drive. No more driving, right? Not only is he working as a delivery driver for like Uber Eats, but he decides to drive himself to the probation office. And now we see him in front of Judge Boyd with a psychiatrist to explain why he does all the crazy things he does. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an interesting case. You got to stick around for it, I'm telling you. It is super interesting. But that's next. That's not now. For now, I think I'm gonna have to say goodnight. The stream is done. Fleischer has ruled his last case for the last day, and we're not going to see any more from Harris County until tomorrow night. At same time, same Wolf Channel. What are you looking at, puppy? Puppy's looking at me because I'm not talking well now. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Outro is a bust. Outro is a bust. I'm belling, ladies and gentlemen. See you about 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. I'll be here. Will you? Good night, ladies and gentlemen.